Hall of Famer Tito Santana, hoping to give.
Hello, hey guys, just Ken Credible here with the 5 Wrestling. What's your opinion?
And something like that than I have ever found. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name's the Notorious ATB. This is Just Tan Credible, otherwise known as JD Tance, otherwise known as Chris Tanson, otherwise known as Tan Malenko.
Tanamania is running wild 2025. Get ready.
Sweet.
Welcome to Teal 5 Wrestling. We are here for another great episode. Season 2, episode 2. Thanks for all of our watchers.
Yeah,
almost
almost
all our
10,000 viewers.
Yeah. Wow.
Wanted to hear us talk about wrestling, so maybe
was
we can
really
pull
cool.
it off again this week.
Let's see if we can do it again. Let's see if we can top that this week.
Yeah, let's top that off with the guy who's taking the world by storm.
Yes.
Penta. That's right. Till 225, Penta.
And man, we love Penta.
Yeah, he's not wrestled a lot without the mask, which I really like.
Right.
Penta has made a solid career out of just being a masked luchador, always having this very similar gimmick.
Yep.
Now, I didn't watch a lot of his Lucha Libre career or his AAA stuff. That was more you.
So when I was first introduced to Penta, I was watching Lucha Underground. Now, I know he did a lot of stuff in AAA prior to that, but I'm not really familiar with that. My start of Penta started in 2014. Okay? And in Lucha Underground, if you don't know what that was, it was a short-lived wrestling company that actually did seasons like a normal TV show. It was on the El Rey network, if anybody remembers that.
It's on Netflix now, I think, ain't it?
Lucha Underground?
It was.
It's not. I wish it was because I've been wanting to watch that. If anybody knows how to watch that, let me know. But I loved it. It was great. Penta tore it up with every single person on the roster there.
And didn't he have a pretty solid feud like over Vampiro or with Vampiro?
Yeah, and another thing that he had that was really cool that a lot of people are talking about now that he's in WWE, and the announcement that the new WWE game will have intergender matches, is he had a freaking amazing match against Io Sky from WWE.
I mean, they're on the same roster now.
Yeah.
Put them both on Monday night.
I'm not a big fan of intergender matches personally, but I would like to see that one again. That was fantastic. Continuously feuded with everybody. He had a feud with the Black Lotus. He had a feud with the Son of Havoc, Matt Cross. Lucha Underground was great. And then
he ends up going. He did a lot of wrestling.
He did a lot of PWG.
He worked a lot of indies. He actually worked a lot with NGW, or not a lot. He worked a couple of shows with them. Did some tag team stuff.
Were you there for a Penta show?
Unfortunately, no. And I hate it.
That sucks.
Well, the first time he was there, I was saving for a wedding. So yeah, priorities in life at that point. Yeah, see, he has no fear of that.
No fear of that.
No. But then Penta ended up getting his first huge push with his Impact
Wrestling, man. And I'll tell you, I'll touch a little bit on his MLW before he got to Impact. Before he got signed to Impact, and his first real American exposure was working with MLW full-time for a year or two, and that was a fun run. So check that out if you're a fan of MLW. Had some really awesome matches, teaming with his brother Ray Phoenix against Teddy Hart, Davey Boy Smith Jr., and Pillman Jr.
I need to go back and watch some of those.
That was pretty good stuff, man.
Because I was kind of out of wrestling.
Swerve was around at that point with MLW.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch.
There's
those.
good stuff.
I saw those guys at indie shows.
Yeah.
For NGW.
MLW at that era, and I guess it still sort of is, was a bit of a super indie before AEW came around.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. But then we get to the Impact run. And the Impact run, of course, he becomes world champion.
He was his debut match.
Yeah,
right?
he beat Austin Aries and
his own brother.
Own brother in a 3-way. That's right.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
So you were high on that 3-way?
I was definitely high on that 3-way, as you guys know. Penta kind of became the face of the luchador in TNA or Impact after the exit of Alberto El Patron. They thought that would work out a little bit better, but it didn't.
It's similar that because that was the same time that Ring of Honor was pushing Bandito and Rouge too.
Yeah, so Lucha Libre Wrestling in the late 2010s started to really catch fire again. I mean, WWE had the Lucha House Party with Kalisto and those guys, and they were tearing it up in NXT. Well, they didn't do it much on the main roster, but they did a lot in NXT, and the Indies was popping off with great luchadors. It was the next influx of great luchadors, much like we had in the 90s with Psychosis, Super Crazy, Hoovy, Ray, all those guys.
Well,
but he had a great match with Brian Cage and Impact that I love a lot.
And then I actually think I caught one of their LAX matches.
Yeah,
I'm not
good
sure
stuff.
which one.
Yep.
But
Off and on the whole
yeah,
thing.
I was like flipping in and out of
He's
this.
teaming with Phoenix off and on here in TNA or Impact.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're brothers. It
Whatever,
makes sense.
same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't care. Impact is TNA. TNA is Impact.
So from there, he returns to AAA.
He does some more indie, does Mexico stuff,
Yeah.
does some indies, puts on a really great match with Omega at All In.
Absolutely.
And that is one of them that we recommend anybody who's the least bit interested in him go find that match. That is a great match.
Well,
his match with Brian Cage and Impact.
And those matches earned him a spot at being an AEW original. He and his brother Ray Phoenix, one of the first people to sign with AEW. And dude, it just went from there. They had a banger after banger, as Sheamus would say. They just continuously was having great matches.
Dude, the tag team ladder match with the Bucks.
Yep.
Like,
oh my God, which one?
The first one.
The cage match, man, with the thumbtack shoe spot. That was really cool.
The thumbtack shoe spot.
But they had tag team title success.
Yes.
They did really great there.
They were great there.
And then the Death Triangle was happening also.
And we
Pac.
got Penta Dark.
We got Penta Oscuro.
Yes.
Yeah, Penta Oscuro. And it was really cool. He always, my thing that I always really loved about Penta compared to the other luchadors is his charisma. Penta's got a lot of charisma.
Yeah. That's why the language barrier doesn't matter.
Not to Penta.
Because he's good enough at selling and telling the story with his wrestling that it's not just flipping around like a lot of luchadors.
Yeah, he's got a very technical style. He can tell a story in a ring. Penta's a total package.
Yes, and that's why him being in the WWE is going to be a great
that's where
thing.
we were going. Perfect for WWE. This guy's he's a marketer's dream.
Yeah, he is.
He's got a great mask. He's got a great look. He's got a unique personality. He's got a great catchphrase.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Saro Miado. And is that one? That's one, folks. Now, if you're just getting started out with some home improvement stuff, however, we recommend you talk to our friends at Stover's Liquidation. They're open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday at 481 Tulsa Road, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and at 452 West Broad Street, Cookeville, Tennessee. They are closed on Sundays. They've always got really good flooring and appliances coming in, new truckloads every week. Go hit up our good friends at Stover's. Now,
that's right.
Into our Till 5 time machine, because
whoa. And there's the graphic, Dave, the greatest damn producer. All right, there you have it.
That's what happens.
All right, folks.
See the order
Starrcade.
because I didn't make a list.
Starrcade.
Anyways, Starrcade 1993. We're going to start off with Too Cold Scorpio and Marcus Alexander Bagwell taking on Pretty Wonderful. I didn't know Pretty Wonderful existed.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't.
That's a cool tag team for a brief, short time.
It is, and the lamest ending I've ever seen when the assassin puts like a bottle cap in his mask and headbutts one of them to lose the match. It was
you gotta
awful.
love the 90s. They were just trying anything.
It was a decent attempt at a good match that ended in shenanigans, which kind of sums up most of WCW.
That's true, and that brings us to the second match.
Shockmaster and King Kong. Don't watch it.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
William Regal and Ricky Steamboat. I enjoyed it.
Good technical match.
Well, but according to the Wrestling Observer, it was not that great of a match. Which is kind of ironic.
I think that's a great one.
Yeah,
that's a dream match for a lot of fans.
Yeah,
right there,
I enjoyed it for the TV title. That was a lot of fun.
Next one's Cactus Jack and Max Payne versus Shanghai Pierce and Tex Slazenger, which are the
Godwins.
The Godwins.
Yes,
that's right.
It was awful.
Yeah,
that was a very bad match. And then we get into Rick Rude against the Boss. If I'm not mistaken, it was supposed to be Davey Boy Smith, but the Boss was a last minute fill in. I can't remember if I'm getting that right order correct, but I do remember that Bischoff talking about the Boss. They just couldn't figure out what to do with him, really. So they sent him out. It was a passable match.
It was there.
Then we get to the fun matches. The last 3 matches of the show were a blast.
I really enjoyed Dustin Rhodes and Steve Austin.
Yeah.
In the 2 out of 3 falls match for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship.
Austin getting that first fall so quick was a nice twist. I wish they would play that more up with 2 out of 3 falls matches.
What I noticed from watching this one, when you sent this one over, is that Austin looked like a star right off the rip. To me, it's unbelievable that WCW didn't capitalize on it.
It's very ironic to see because my brain says that this was Dustin putting over Austin before he went to the WWF to become Goldust. In 2 years, it's completely different because Stone Cold's in the WWF with him.
And he blows up.
Yeah. So it was kind of neat to see that, knowing what was to come. And then the tag team titles match, the Nasty Boys against Road Warrior Hawk and Sting, was a cluster and wild. Let me just say, I've never been a big Missy Hyatt fan. This is the only time in my life that I was like, oh, well, this is when Missy was apparently attractive.
Yeah.
But hey, that was her whole shtick. Don't get mad at me, America. Her big thing was using her body to help her team win matches. And she was a very good manager. I'll give her that. But this match was so like they brawled into the crowd. They ignored the time limit.
So I have to say,
it ends in a disqualification when Missy dives in to break up the pinfall.
I, for whatever random reason, enjoy the Nasty Boys. I always have. I think it's a fun gimmick. It was fun for the time. Pity City was fun. I freaking hated this match.
Really?
It was so lame. And I love Road Warrior Hawk. I love Sting. I love the Nasty. It's just I wasn't feeling it. It was too much of a cluster for me.
Well, I feel like this was all would have been a lot more fun if we'd had Animal, but we got stuck with just Hawk and Sting.
Crazy to say we got stuck with Sting.
Yeah. And it was a fun match for what it was. Horrible ending that ruined the whole thing. And then the main event that they've been building up all night.
That brings us to
can Ric Flair win back the World Heavyweight title
from the Mastodon
after being in the WWF? He comes home and it's, could he retire? Could Ric Flair retire in 1993? Mind you, the man wrestled in 2023.
That's true.
So
30 years later.
30 years later,
wow.
He was still trying to wrestle.
But he had a match with the Mastodon Vader managed by his former rival Harley Race, which made this a super interesting match.
It was, and that they played up on that with the commentary. I really loved Flair hitting 3 straight double axe handles from the top rope on Vader.
It's awesome.
Because I was like, Flair never hits a move from the top rope. So
take the big man down.
No, and of course, Flair wins. He rides off with his family and his world title. He's a face again for whatever reason. But that's all in all, I will say that Starrcade 1993 is not that great.
No, but there's a couple of decent matches I like.
Watch the last hour of it and you'll be happy.
Check out the Steamboat match.
I'm gonna say
check wrestling. Check out the Steamboat.
I'm gonna say check out Dustin and Austin instead.
Very good, especially storytelling in that match.
Yeah.
Storytelling key.
Yeah.
So, and that's 2.
That's 2, folks. And now it's time for our top 5 wrestlers from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I
am still pretty upset at the state of Minnesota for losing in the playoffs. My Minnesota Vikings failed me again. So Aaron figured as a rib, we would do the top 5 wrestlers from Minnesota. Brock Lesnar's an automatic number 1.
Jerry Lynn's an automatic number 2 to me.
Sean Waltman, X-Pac.
Yeah.
You gotta have him.
Rick Rude,
absolutely. And you can't talk about Rick Rude without Kurt Hennig.
There you go. There's 5. Now
that's easy. I mean,
you could give an honorable mention to Sam Darnold,
the Antichrist.
Well, it's football. Anyways,
I just made a tan sad.
Oh, do you need a hug? It's okay. It's okay. Anyway,
clip that shit.
We could have mentioned Jesse Ventura, but
I love Jesse Ventura.
Yes, but I don't feel like his in-ring work really qualified him. But we did have to include that sweet figure from the '80s on
Yep.
that.
Thanks, Dave.
That sweet flyer.
Thanks, Dave, for that.
Yep. Look at that beauty.
Wow. He thought that
and
was
if you
Hulk
if you
Hogan.
look at the top, if you look over the top of Minnesota, you will see Tan in a Viking helmet.
Skull. Maybe next season. JJ McCarthy set me free. Isn't it though? He's good, man. He's good at his job. I talk a lot of smack, but he's good at his job, folks. And that's why we are Teal 5 Wrestling. And that brings us to our next segment.
Well, that's 3.
That is 3.
Hit that bell. That's right. I didn't buy the bell for nothing. You're going to have to hear that bell.
That's
folks.
right.
Now it's time to reach for the sky, boys. Top 5 dead or alive, the Briscoe brothers. Look, you're never going to hear us talk smack against the
Not
Briscoes.
one negative word.
Honestly, we could list off a dozen matches for you to check out.
Yep.
The Briscoes are 13-time tag team champions.
For Ring of Honor. Yep.
They held the GCW tag team titles 3 times, Hog tag team titles, Impact tag team titles, CZW tag team titles, JCW tag team titles. Whoop, whoop. What? Yeah.
I won't even knock it for the Briscoes. This friendship that you and I have over the last few years, in a way, was molded with our shared love of Nigel McGuinness and the Briscoes.
Well, we got together to watch Final Battle.
We watched the FTR trilogy together.
Yeah.
And it was magnificent.
I had met him at the vapor store that he worked at.
Yep.
Because
Save vaping, Kentucky. Hashtag save vaping 2024. Do the right thing, Andy. What are you doing?
Yeah, save vaping, folks.
Somebody put Mitch in the chair and do the thing.
Help him sign it. Just
somebody
let's stop this.
He doesn't even know.
But I met him at a vapor store and I helped his mom pick out like Christmas gifts for him because I love wrestling.
That's right.
And apparently he'd been on my Facebook for a while. And then we hung out to watch Ring of Honor and we fell in love watching the Briscoes against FTR. We didn't fall in love with each other. Not what you're thinking.
And a bromance blossomed.
Yes, the bromance blossomed. And then we were like, you know what, man? Let's start a podcast. And here we are. We reach for the sky, just like the Briscoes.
That's right.
Mark is finally getting an opportunity on the main stage on his own.
I think it should be noted, speaking of that they're both former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champions.
Yeah, they are. And Jay had 2 really good runs.
Yep.
And I mean, you can look at Jay Briscoe at the era of Honor Begins wrestling. And then
covered.
Yeah. Then you can look at Wrestling the Amazing Red. You look at Jay Briscoe wrestling with his brother against FTR, and you wouldn't think that there's 20 plus years of difference in this guy because he never lost a step.
No, he only
got a little bit better.
Yeah, he only got
like
better.
he got quite a bit better than that.
Those damn Briscoes age like a fine wine.
Yeah,
man.
they do. And they are the top 5 dead or alive. Now, some Briscoes matches that we both wanted to make sure and mention.
Well, obviously the FTR trilogy.
Yes.
Okay. You got to have that, and it's almost poetic to me that Jay's last matches were against FTR because they were just all so great.
Yeah, and well, technically his last match was in House of Glory. That's
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
that.
they won the House of Glory tag team titles.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it's main event.
Probably.
I think I knew that.
Well,
okay.
Apparently you didn't.
Whatever.
I just told you.
How did I pull main event out of my ass?
You just
all right.
you
Ladder
named the tag
War:
team
the
House of
Briscoes versus El Generico and Steen.
Yes, from ROH Man Up in 2007. That was another one that was so much fun.
Yeah, and it's always fun.
You have to see that the J Driver through the ladder.
The J Driver.
Driver. Look, sorry, folks.
This guy's a fake Briscoes fan.
There you go. Sell it. Anyways,
bunch of pussies. You and Will.
So the Briscoes, any of their Ring of Honor matches with the Young Bucks, must see matches.
Oh God, yeah.
Go back and watch their Good Times, Great Memories match against the Motor City Machine Guns. But pretty much those 3 matches, I think the FTR dog collar match.
That'll sum it up for you guys, honestly.
Check out the dog collar match, good times, great memories with the machine guns, and check out the ladder.
Check out the Briscoes against Final Battle 2021, the Briscoes versus the Kingdom, Taven and Bennett. Great match.
It was a great match. I mean, the Briscoes and Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team
all day long. The Briscoes and
Kings of Wrestling. Yeah,
you knew that's where I was going.
Yeah, that was the best era of ROH to me.
Right.
But folks,
and the Wolves, Briscoes and Wolves.
That's
do
4
all day.
And now we want to make sure before we get into this last long segment to thank our 2025 sponsors at Stover's Liquidation.
At Stover's Liquidation and wholesale home improvement, truckload quantities available at www.stoverliquidation.com. You can go check them out at 481 Tulsa Road in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. That's 37830. Or you can check them out in Cookeville, Tennessee at 452 West Broad Street, 38501. Give them a phone call at 855-543-5159. Check them out at Cookeville at 931-562-2591 and at Oak Ridge at 865-523-4449. They are open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., 24 hours online, closed on Sundays. Guys, get it done. Check them out.
And now it is time for our blind bag rumble.
We are going to blind bag it up for this one. Close our women's empowerment computer.
All right, folks. Full discretion. We recorded this a week ago.
We did.
And had some audio issues.
We sure did. Thanks, Dave.
So now we're re-recording this.
And we're going to make it better.
And it's going to be even better. So first off, let's go ahead and pick out numbers 1 and 2.
You draw number 1?
Yeah, I got number 1. Number 1.
And this is to the Notorious ATB to book. Ooh.
Channing Stacks Lorenzo.
Oh, my God. Well, he's going to start with Solo Sikoa.
Stacks is getting thrown out immediately by Solo.
This is your baby.
Solo is going to get to sit there and flex. Give me another name.
Number 3 in the Royal Rumble is Cedric Alexander, baby. He's back.
Cedric's going to come in, dive off the top rope. He's going to get a thumb, and Cedric's out.
And Cedric has been eliminated. That brings us to entry.
We are making Solo look like a star
4.
tonight.
Julius Creed of American Made.
All right, Julius Creed ain't going to get dumped out so quick, so they're going to get to hang out. We're going to get in another name, though.
All right, we got to bring in number 6.
Yes, number 5.
Number 5.
Till 5
is Jacob Fatu.
Oh, I love you, Solo.
And that's where Creed gets eliminated.
Yes,
absolutely.
Creed's getting dumped there. Now we've got these two monsters in here together.
Number 6, Axiom from NXT Tag Team Champ.
Axiom's going to try and fly off of both these men, and then Jacob is just going to run over him and throw him out.
Axiom has been eliminated. Number 7. Drew McIntyre.
Ooh, Drew's going to come in and start tossing out claymores. We're not getting rid of Drew, but we're not dumping out anybody else either.
Number 8, Santos Escobar.
Santos Escobar's going to come. We're going to let him hang out. We're going to build this ring up.
All right, time to build it up.
Give me 6.
Number 9, the return of Big E.
Big E.
Big E is back.
And Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are seen backstage furious.
Number 10, Rey Mysterio.
Booyaka. Rey Mysterio is going to come running in. Now, Solo at this point is kind of hiding in the corner while Jacob defends him.
Okay.
Not like hiding,
but just chilling.
But Jacob is forcing
He's just chilling.
him.
Yeah.
Solo will want to go help, but Jacob's like, I got this.
Yeah.
And he is keeping everyone off of him and trying to make eliminations.
So number 12, Tommaso Ciampa.
Ooh. Tommaso Ciampa is going to come in, going to go straight with a flying knee and clock Jacob Fatu and put him down. And now it's time for everybody to gang up on Solo.
We ready for the next one?
Uh-huh.
The next one at unlucky number 13 is Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods is going to come in and go straight at Big E, and Big E's going to throw him out of the ring.
And he's
immediately.
Out. Number 14.
Xavier came in too hot.
Number 14 is Braun Strowman's going to come in.
Big Braun.
Big Braun.
All right, folks. So we've got these guys in here beating each other up.
What was that, 15?
Yeah, there's 5. That ain't 15.
Okay,
13?
that was 13. Yeah, that's right.
I thought you said Xavier was number 13.
Xavier, okay, wait, what?
What?
Wait a second.
Anyways,
You do the thing, and you talk to the people.
I'll talk to the people. So Santos Escobar is trying to get ready to work with him to take on Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. You got Braun Strowman just slapping meat against Drew McIntyre. And Big E is working over Tommaso Ciampa, getting ready to like eliminate him. When?
Due to dyslexia, number 14 enters the ring, Brian Myers.
Okay, so Brian Myers is going to come right in and go right out.
Goodbye, Brian Myers. Number 15 is
Like, I would love it if he never even let go of his cane.
Trey Miguel, another TNAer.
Another TNA is going to come in, and Braun is going to throw him out.
Okay.
And then he's going to throw out Tommaso Ciampa right after.
Oh, okay. Even it out a little bit.
Yep.
Number.
Braun is showing he's got muscle, too. We got Braun, Big E,
Number 16,
Drew McIntyre.
The return of AJ Styles.
And AJ Styles comes in. So we're going to let AJ dive in. Now, a flying forearm on Solo.
Okay.
And Drew McIntyre is going to hit Solo with a Claymore and put him on the ropes. And Big E's going to dump him out.
Eliminate Solo.
Solo
Solo's
Sikoa
out.
has been eliminated. Jacob Fatu is going to turn, and Solo's going to try and get him to stay in, and Big E's going to dump out Jacob Fatu.
Wow.
Big E's back, and we are dumping out both of them.
Well, that brings us to sweet number 17, Sean Spears.
The chairman of AEW.
That's right. Let him come out with a chair. Hell.
Yeah, he can come out with a chair. AJ Styles is going to eliminate Sean Spears.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
Yeah, we're not like
number 18.
No.
Ridge Holland.
Ridge Holland's going to come in.
The man that injured Big E.
And go right at Big E, but he's going to hesitate, and Drew McIntyre is going to hit him with a Claymore. But Big E won't let Drew eliminate him. Big E helps him up, and then the next man comes in. And I'm really hoping it's Kofi Kingston. Let's see if I can manifest Kofi Kingston.
It's Otis.
It's going to be Otis instead. So we're not manifesting Kofi Kingston, but Rey Mysterio is going to get dumped out at this point, along with Santos Escobar.
Wow.
By Drew McIntyre.
All right, so that brings us to number 20, Aaron. Who's going to be number 20?
We've got 20 people in here, and let's look at the fact that most of them are pretty big boys except for AJ Styles.
That's true. Number 20 is Kit Wilson from Pretty Deadly.
Oh, God. I really hate these guys' shirts.
Yeah.
Kit Wilson's going to come in, but you know what? We're going to let Kit, Otis, and Ridge team up and dump out Braun Strowman. In a shocker of the night, Braun Strowman has already been eliminated by these guys deciding to team up together.
And number 21 is Joaquin Wilde from LWO.
Joaquin Wilde's going to come in, and him and AJ are going to we're going to let those two guys work over each other.
Okay. Ready for the next?
22,
Braun Breaker.
Big Braun Breaker's coming in. All right, we're going to wreck some people now. So Braun is going to come in. First thing we're going to do, we're dumping out Ridge Holland and Big E at the same time.
Yep. Because he's legit.
Yep. And then we're going to also dump out Otis and Kit Wilson and Joaquin Wilde.
And that brings us to 3.
We are down to 3 men.
And speaking of 3, number 23 is Akam from the Authors of Pain. Another big boy.
Another big boy, but most of the big boys
That's true, are gone.
have been dumped out. But we'll let Akam come in.
And then 23, Austin Theory.
Austin Theory is going to come in next, and Austin Theory is catching a Styles clash, folks.
Well, 24 is Ilya Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov is going to eliminate Braun Breaker.
All right. Wow.
We're gonna give that heat back to him. Immediately start building up Ilya. In fact, let's let Ilya drop out Akam as well.
Okay. All right, Dave. Since obviously I've lost count again because my hand signals, where we at? The next pick is 25. Next pick is 26.
All
Okay,
right, 26.
26. Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed's going to come in here, big Australian boy.
It's true.
Yeah. You know what? We're just going to let them hang out. We're going to wait till we get to 30.
All right. Well, I've been told by our man that the next entrant is actually number 26, and it is John Cena.
John Cena!
27, Chris Sabin.
Chris Sabin comes in. All right. So Cena's not going to limit anybody when he first comes in. We're going to celebrate with Cena. Everybody's going to give him this big moment.
Yeah.
And then Sabin's going to come in, and Bronson Reed is going to tsunami splash him and throw him over the top rope and then go running right at John Cena.
Number 28
Number 28 comes in as John
Manifested
Cena has
late
been taken down.
is Chris Sabin or
Kofi Kingston. Well, Kofi, you're a little too late to
He's a little late.
my original plan. But you know what? We can always say that Big E comes out and delivers a belly to belly to Kofi.
It's true. Eliminates him.
No, just run straight in.
Throws him over the ropes, but Woods catches him because classic Cody stuff or Kofi stuff at the Rumble.
Okay, Kofi comes in, and Cena gives him an attitude adjustment, lays him out, throws him over the top rope, but Xavier catches him.
There you go.
Big E comes out, and while Kofi is on Xavier's shoulders,
Does them both.
knocks them both out.
So Kofi's out, and that brings us to number 29, which is Matt Hardy in a
What?
surprise.
All right, we're going to hit the Hardy Boys music this late in the show, but Matt Hardy's an old, fragile man,
That's true.
and Bronson Reed's going to give him a couple of tsunami splashes, and then he's going to give one to Austin Theory for getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to turn and look at John Cena as he throws out Austin Theory and Matt Hardy.
Wow.
Reed is just staring dead-eyed at John Cena while Cena is working hard to eliminate Drew McIntyre.
Well, and then the music hits for number 30. And he's going to yeet all the way down the ramp, folks. It's Jey Uso.
All right, so Jey Uso hits the ring.
So
And-
yeeting all over everybody.
He's trying to yeet. Look, SmackDown really got screwed over in a Rumble.
They sort of did.
But AJ Styles is going to get eliminated by John Cena. The crowd's not going to love that.
Nope.
AJ is going to grab Cena's arm, very similar to what happened to Hogan in 92.
Yep.
And Bronson Reed is going to dump out John Cena.
Oh, big boos.
Big boos all over. We're going to have Drew McIntyre take out Ilya Dragunov.
Yep.
And we're down to Jey Uso, Bronson Reed, and Drew McIntyre.
An odd final three.
It is a very
But I
odd
like
one.
it.
It is. Jey Uso's winning this Royal Rumble.
Wow.
And then he is going to get to look at his brother Roman or his cousin Roman and say, yeet, as he is main event Jey Uso at WrestleMania,
In the main event of WrestleMania main event.
where he will
Uso.
have his rematch against Gunther.
That's a great idea.
Because they're going to wrestle at Saturday Night Main Event and they're going to go to a time limit draw. That's
That's a
the
good
fantasy
Rumble.
booking.
I would love that.
All right, folks, that's 5. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.